The Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.
Top of the morning to you good people. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say. And look, man, we got another good show for y'all today. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What did you do, my guy?
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, say, man. Let me see. There we go. I got I wanted to really just kind of define this morning, man. What does a person's value or self-worth really depend on, or exactly what does that really mean? Because you have a lot of people that talk about, oh, people don't appreciate my value, they don't this and that, and I just really wanted today to kind of break that down and see what that looks like. Because we say things like this a lot, and it's like, do we really know what a person's value or self-worth really means or depends on?
Right.
And so I heard an analogy, bro, used by somebody, and I don't know, it could have been AI. Hell, but it was a damn good analogy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, Lavelle, if you went to the grocery store,
okay,
and you bought a case of water,
mm-hmm,
and you decided you wanted to sell that water, you go spend $5-6 for a case of water. You got 30. We're gonna just say 36 bottles of water,
mm-hmm.
And you say, you know what? I'm gonna sell this for $1 a bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you sell it, somebody buy it for $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
That same bottle of water in a convenience store may cost them $3.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the airport, that same bottle of water in the airport might be $5.
Mm-hmm.
You get on the plane, that bottle of water might be $7.50.
Right.
It's the same damn bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the value change?
Because of the place that it was in.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Because the value didn't change, only the location of the water changed.
Mm-hmm.
So now take your life. And we talk about self-value or self-worth all the time. Mm-hmm. If you feel like, let's just say on your job, you feel like you're undervalued on your job or not really valued on your job. It might not be that you're undervalued. It might be that where you are, you're not as valued as much where you are in that location where you are. I've seen people take a job. They had one location doing the same type of job, making $50,000. They go to another location, another city, another state, or somewhere else, work the same job and make $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the person? The person is still the same person. No, the job is still the same job.
Mm-hmm.
So what changed about it? The location.
Location, yeah, location.
So I want us to look at our value or self-worth different than that. Because we think about in terms of our self-value or self-worth is like, you hear this thing thrown around now, Lavelle, about what we bring to the table.
Right.
Oh, I bring this to the table. What do you bring to the table? You can't even come to the table if you don't bring the good morning, Joseph. If you don't bring this, you don't bring that, you can't even sit at my table. So where I don't even know where they came from. That bring it, what you bring to the table stuff. But I do understand that if I want to be successful, and I'm gonna tell you this. So I looked at it even from a perspective with my business. I started saying, well, Tony, you can't only market your custom bars only in the city of Memphis. I said, because if you do that, you're limiting to a group of people. And guess what? Those people might not even be the people that's going to buy your bars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I started looking at how I could market those bars outside of my area. And I started looking at pages and stuff that's in neighboring cities and towns and states that where I still wouldn't have to drive 15 hours to build a bar, but I could still get somebody 6 hours away or 5 hours away. So if I just limit myself to Memphis, then I limit the value I place on myself or my business.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying this for a reason, because we're gonna have an offline conversation today when we get off here. Okay. That I'm looking to catapult this thing.
Okay.
But that's one of the things that made me really think about this. And I said, well, why do people really only, like as it relates to value and self-worth, why do we limit ourselves and then wonder why we can't make the money or get paid or have a quality of life as other people around us? Why is it that some people are succeeding at the same thing that you're doing and you're not?
Because they probably put more time and more effort into what they're doing. And then, like you say, sometimes the location matters as well.
Yeah.
I've
seen people
who they just take Dawn's career, for instance, what she does. She do pretty decent here, but if she go to like maybe Houston or Dallas, maybe like Washington, some different spots, her salary would change dramatically just because of the location. Even with my DJing, I met a lady when I DJed for one of the Grizzlies a couple of years ago. She was from like New Hampshire, somewhere like that. He said, "You understand the level of DJing and entertainment that you do, how much money you could make in New Hampshire?" I was like, "Bring me up there. I ain't scared."
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Why if she says, hey, the market for New Hampshire would trump the market for Memphis in terms of DJing, you could make triple what you make here in New Hampshire. Why would she have to invite you when she'd already told you what the market looked like?
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? But this is you just gave me a clear-cut reason why a lot of people kind of stay where they are and they only realize so much success, that their success is limited and their value is limited because of the value they place on themselves. If we limit ourselves to just a central location, we just like that bottle of water. If that bottle of water only stays with that case of water that I bought that I'm selling for $1, it's only valued at $1. But if that bottle of water enters the convenience store, now that bottle of water is valued at $3. If that bottle of water enters the airport, now that bottle of water is viewed at $5, valued at $5. If that bottle of water gets on a plane, that bottle of water is $7.50.
Right.
The bottle of water is the same. The location just changed.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Better than that.
No, because you could be available. You could be like that bottle of water is available, but it's only available in LaVelle's location at his house, or where he or on the street corner where he set it for $1. So, but if LaVelle decided I want to open up a convenience store, I'm gonna stick this bottle of water in the convenience. So now the value of that water just changed.
Right.
Now, does LaVelle have to be at the convenience store to sell that bottle of water?
No.
Does he have to be available? No. So availability, the value depends on availability? No.
Right. Unless you
if that's the case,
you have products and services, so they're two different things.
Yeah. I get what he's saying, but it doesn't necessarily depend on. Good morning, Queen. It doesn't necessarily depend on that. People, your value can change depending on your location, depending on where you are. What's the difference between? What's the difference between a person who has? Okay, I'm gonna use me and Queen. I got a TikTok. Queen has a TikTok. Right.
Right.
Queen's TikTok. We got the same niche. We doing the exact same thing. But Queen has 50,000 followers and I have 3,000 followers. What's the difference? We got the same niche. We doing the same thing. The difference is she got 50,000 people. She's reaching a greater market than me because of how she's tapped into her niche versus me. I'm only still over here trying to push my stuff to folks right here in Memphis, trying to get people in Memphis to understand what the niche I'm providing.
Right.
No, bro. So take this same house. So take this same house. The house that I live in Memphis right now. My house in Memphis is a probably $250,000 house. If my same house was placed in New York, my house would be $2 million. Same house, $2 million.
Yep.
So it ain't got nothing to do with availability, bro. I get what you're saying. If the house is available, it drives up the price. Yeah, but no. When the location of my house is if I uproot my house, I break up my house from its foundation and move it to New York, my house will go from $250,000 to $2 million.
Yep. And mine will probably be about 5.
You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. Algorithm.
And you have to be consistent as well. Yeah.
I mean, you're only talking about the Memphis market. You got if you got 20,000 awesome DJs in Memphis, it's still gonna be difficult. People gonna have their preference.
Right.
What you mean you can't move a house? People move houses all the time. That's the most ludicrous thing I ever heard. I've seen people move whole houses. They cut the house cut in half, move the whole entire house, bro.
Yeah, technology totally different now.
I don't know where you got that from. I mean, it's gonna cost out the frame to do it, but I'm just saying the same house and be real what we're talking about. If I had the same model house, like I'm at the same house that I'm in now, if you took the same specs of my house and dropped a house just the same specs of mine in in New York or somewhere in Chicago, that house would man be way more expensive than my house. Matter of fact, I was down in New Orleans in Harahan looking at some houses in that area, and the houses were probably nowhere near the size of mine in terms of space. So when I looked at that, I said, "Oh, these houses probably shoot $130,000." Man, the one house I looked at was $560,000. Like, what? It had nothing to do with the house, the size of the house. It was the area, the market, and all that. It was smaller than my house, but it cost more than my house.
Right.
So now take the size of my house and put it in that same area.
Right.
Woo!
Yeah.
Joseph said, "Good one, Tony." And Lavelle, on the business aspect, I have my own lawn business, right? I have a hard time setting price because I hate to seem like I'm busting someone's head, but I have to think about the value of my product. So I have an inner battle with myself. Am I charging too much or too less? While other people in my field charge way more than I do, and they are seeing profits. I need to better understand my value of a product. Great combo topic, fellas. I hate to lose. See you. I hate to lose. See you. I don't know.
You probably couldn't take all the characters. That's what they was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he typing a lot. He might get out of character. Yeah. But yeah, so
a lot of guys call me, they do the DJ service. They're like, "Man, I told the lady my price, man, and she ghosted me. She said that was too much." And then I said, "Listen, simply, that ain't your client, period." And it's it may sound, you don't know what you're missing, because just like you got some people who will hire you for a lower price, but some people don't. If your price is too low, they won't hire you because they feel like that you're not competent enough about your product or your service, what you're doing. So they won't hire you at all. Because they were like, you charging this much to do this? I'm like, no. So the value, what I'm saying, it is different. You know what I'm saying? Just like this situation we're going through now with China doing what they're doing with the products, saying, what y'all been paying for all this long time is this the third. But at the same time, it's what you put the value in of it and what it means to you.
And that's another good example of there, where most of this stuff is actually made in China, and they got Chinese putting a Italian label on it, and then they ship it to Italy, and then go over there and charge you. Now it just took them people $20 to make this bag that they selling for $20,000. If I go to China and buy that bag, $200. If I go to Italy, $20,000. Same bag, location change.
That's it.
Same bag. So come on, bro. Sometimes, Joseph, in this same video that I had saw with the illustration of bottled water, it says that, like, sometimes, look, where the location that you're living in, you may need to change your location. So we so scared to step outside of our comfort zone because I've been in Memphis all my life. I don't want to go nowhere. I've seen so many people, bro, leave Memphis and they life turn. I'm talking about they ain't look back, bro, because they left Memphis and the opportunities just skyrocketed. My nephew was living here in Memphis, couldn't do nothing, having a hard time, struggling. Boy went to Atlanta, rented an apartment, and started looking at, man, I wonder if we can get another one of these apartments at Airbnb. Looked into it, boom, start Airbnb, and then they got another Airbnb, then they got a house. Start Airbnb, man, they blew up in Atlanta. And start putting Airbnb other places. And that's just one example. So you could be in one spot, man, and your value, like if I only catered my business to just Memphis, just like Joseph said, if I look at if I overprice my lawn care, people ain't gonna book me. If I underprice my lawn care, people gonna be like, he probably ain't good because he's so cheap. So, but then if you say, Man, this is my price. I look at the work, the dedication I put in. I'm gonna edge your yard up right. You got to be able to sell what you do in a way, like you said, Lavelle. I under promise but over deliver. Right?
Yeah.
Your DJ service is top tier because you under the promise, and obviously you tell them, hey, this is my rate. You don't negotiate. This is my rate. My rate is $1,500 for this type of DJing for this time. If they say that's too much, you go to what's the place you just told you up on East Coast? You go on the East Coast and you tell them people $1,500, they be like, man, DJs go for $3,000 here. He $1,500. My prices are not based on your budget, but my talent.
That's on your shirt, ain't
it? Hello? My shirts I wear says my prices are not based on your budget, but my talent. Good morning, Pops. So you have to understand, man, that your value here in the city of Memphis may be way different if you go to another state or location. Because the market here, and then sometimes you don't want to price yourself outside of your market. Because you can't overprice yourself outside of your market, and then next you know you be like, man, they out of business. Well, they were high as hell because they overpriced themselves out of their market. Then you got people who underprice themselves in the market, and they can't even maintain and keep up with their bills. They got the business bills because they underpriced themselves in the market.
Right.
In this market. But if you take your business to another market, a market where the market is greater, where the value is greater for what you do in that market, you're going to make more money. And that's why people leave Memphis, leave areas and go to other places and be so successful. You be like, they went to Texas and blew up. They were doing the same thing in Memphis, but they couldn't blow up here because of the market. They went to Texas where there was a market, a bigger market, a huger market, and the value was greater and blew up.
Well, you also have to understand too, man. In the market, in your market, just say in the market. Period. You got to learn how to market yourself. You got to, and are you marketable? Even though you know how to do that service, you know how to provide that service. How's your attitude? When I talk to you on the phone, are you paying attention to me when I'm speaking with you? You know what I'm saying? When I call you, are you answering the phone? And if you can't answer the phone, are you returning the calls? Like just this year, bro, I have probably invested, man, just to get my business better than what it was just in the last couple of months. I probably invested about $1,500 because I didn't do it in the beginning, which is my fault. Trying to cut corners. Like I hadn't showed it to you guys, but I show you all. I just upgraded my. And this may be confirmation we're gonna discuss.
But that's all part of it. Like
right.
I can't keep up with when I look at sometimes I look at oh my God, I don't want to go there. But I look at people's businesses, right?
Right.
And I look at this person's business. Then I look at this person. I said they got the same business, but this person over here like going ham with it, and this person over here just kind of like there. But I'm looking at this person. Everything about their, every time you look up their marketing something, their whole brand identity is just, man, they got a beautiful logo. They got a slick little commercial with and then you got this person over here just, I got a business card.
Right. Yeah.
But who fault is that? Who fault is that? Rodney said everybody that he said, what about the folk that went and failed? If I moved to Texas and another prime example. I had a cousin moved to Atlanta because she was tired of Memphis, thought she'd have a better life in Memphis. She struggled. She got there, hit rock bottom the first couple of times. She didn't give up. She kept going. Now the girl acting, doing movies, doing all kinds of stuff because she didn't give up. So the difference between the person that went and failed and the person that went and successful, they didn't give up. You ain't gonna go and be a bum right out the gate, or be the bum right out the gate. Not every time. You're gonna have that's everywhere in life, period. You're gonna have some, it's gonna be some people that tell you, how many people that told me no with the bars, bro?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
But I still made over 100 bars in the 5 years I've been doing it.
Michael Jordan said failure is success.
Yeah. Right, you digging a deeper ditch, bro. You fail because you don't. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Dust yourself off, Doc.
Yeah, man. Just because I left and go to Texas, and it wasn't what I thought right out the gate, and I just give up. Oh, I'm coming back home. You ain't even tried. First of all, if you uproot, and then you got a lot of people fail because they uproot and go to other cities, and there's no plan. They just, I'm moving. What's your plan? I ain't got no plan. I'm just hoping things gonna be better there. I'm hoping things gonna be better there. You went without a plan.
You either plan to fail or fail to plan. One of the two.
I can't speak on both sides of that. There ain't no both sides of that. If you fail, it's because you didn't try. Or you didn't try hard enough, or you stopped trying. I know a lot of people that have failed trying to start a business, but didn't stop. They went and said, well, it didn't work here, I went start, and now they successful. You can't just stop because you failed one time or two times. Again, I've gotten so many no's, and Rodney, you as a DJ, how many no's have you got as a DJ? Or somebody told you, well, now I'm going with such and such a dude, or now I'm doing this. But did you give up? No, you still DJing. Come on, bro. You can't give up just because somebody tell you no. When I was in, anyway, one of the things they used to always say the most was, every speaker that I ever heard that was a millionaire said, I showed this. I was so excited about this business. I went out and got the dude was a lawyer. He said, I went out and got 20, 25 or 30 of my lawyer colleagues together because I was so excited. I was like, these are smart guys, they're intellectual guys, they're gonna see this right out the gate, and boy, we're gonna be rich. And he said, all of them told me no. Man, you crazy. He said, I was crushed. He said, I was crushed. He said, cause I think I got these sharp dudes. He said, and all of my colleagues told me, nah, man, you crazy. I ain't gonna say, And he said, you know what? I didn't stop. I went and found me 20, 30 more people to show it to. 20, 30 more people to show it to. And the day I went in and walked away from my law practice, they all were looking at me like, he left with Amway? Yes. Because he didn't give up. Because his smart lawyer friends didn't get an Amway with him.
I'm finna play a video. It's old, but it's so profound. It's actually a video that I shared on my YouTube channel.
Rodney, thank you, Rodney. You just solidified my point even more.
What?
Thank you, Rodney. You just solidified my point even more. I still get them. Let them go to the $200 DJ. They'll call me later with the horror story. Same thing with me. I've had people to tell me, well, that was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. They went and found somebody else to be at the bar. They called me later and said, man, I wish I had got you to be at this bar. Can you come over and try to straighten this thing out? Nope. You should have because it's gonna cost you more for me now to come over there and straighten it out than it was that I was the building in the first place.
Check this video out. It's old, but check it out. It's still profound.
You know what the question is that a lot of people ask me all the time? How did you make it? How did you make it? Well, I tell you, there's only one answer for that. And I say this in the press all the time, but people will cut it out of articles, or they don't want it printed, or they don't want it said. But the truth be told, it was nothing but the grace of God. Nothing but the grace of God. You can plant seeds all day long. You can go around giving your business card to people. You can go around knocking on doors and auditioning. You can do all of that every day of your life, and nothing. For most people, nothing happens. When a seed is planted in the ground, all you can do is water it. You cannot control the sunshine, you cannot control the weather, and you cannot control whether the locusts will come and try and destroy it. All you can do is plant your seed in the ground, water it, and believe. That is what allowed me to be in this position right now. I would not stop believing. I planted my seed. I worked really hard. I had one idea, and that was to do a play. All the other stuff came. My only idea, my only focus was to do my one play. And I knew if I could get that to work, everything else would come to pass. There's so many people who go in so many directions. This week they're doing this, and next week they're doing that, and next week they're doing this, and next week they're going to be in real estate, and the next week they're going to open a salon. And those kind of people are all over the place, and I usually try to get them to focus. Focus on one thing, one area. Put all of your energy into watering one area. If you spread the water across many, many seeds, you don't have as much water for one seed. So focus on one thing. Make it your priority and stick with it no matter what. No matter how many people told me no, no matter how many people lied to me, no matter how many times I put the show up and nobody came. I remember when I did my very first show, I worked my butt off and saved $12,000 tax returns from H&R Block money. I saved it, worked hard, saved it myself, rented the 14th Street Playhouse, put that show up, thought that 1,200 people would come over a weekend, and 30 showed up, and I knew every one of them. But I didn't stop. That didn't deter me. That was in 1992. 93. Same thing happened. 94, 95, 96, 97, up until 1998. Same devastation, nobody showing up in the audience. I was doing one show a year, working with different promoters, trying to get the show up, and nobody showed up. But I didn't stop. And what I say to you now, looking at me now, here, I am a human being. There's no difference between my humanness and your humanness. The only thing is, if you're trying to get there, you cannot stop believing in any way. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody tells you, you have to know it beyond knowing it. And it is a feeling. When something is for you, this is how I knew it was for me. When something is for you, there's a feeling that is deep down inside of you that will not allow you to let it go. It will keep you going when you can't even keep yourself going. That's why the mantra here at the Tyler Perry Studios is a place where even dreams believe. Because there comes a time in your life where you've worked and you've stressed and you tried to get there and you couldn't on your own, but you have a dream. And that dream has to take on the belief for you because you can't do it by yourself. So what I would tell you is this: don't stop. Narrow your focus to one idea, and make it work. That will give birth to all the others. All you can do is plant the seed and water it. God himself has to give the increase. Only God.
Bro, he just, the formula that he just talked, that's what, when you think about social media and monetizing from social media and all that, that's all they tell you is find a niche. Find you one niche. Don't have a bunch of different niches all over the place, because people are like, find you one niche, find you one thing, stick to it, and drill it in the ground, and don't give up. Right? Yep. And so when you find that one thing, and like he said, it's not that you can't dream about the other thing, but you focus your attention on that one thing, and boom, 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 boom. Once you do that, you plant the seed, you throw that out there, you focus on that one thing, and then that grows beyond your unimaginable dreams. Then those other dreams and stuff that you had, you can give birth to them. Because I do see a lot of people out here trying to do a whole bunch of different things. I used to be one of those people. They try to do I'm talking about like a million different things, torn in all different directions. And it's hard for you to focus your attention on one thing if you stop this, now I'm over here. You stop that, now I'm over here. You stop that, now you done planted 15 different seeds and you trying to throw water on all of them, and none of them, they all just doing mediocre little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In Amway, we used to call that person a no direction dynamo. They got a lot of energy, but they ain't going because they going all these different directions. They ain't going nowhere fast. No direction dynamo. But when you narrow in on that, focus on that one thing. That's why I tell people all the time, yeah, I can't remodel, but my focus is bars, custom bars. That's my focus. My focus is custom bars because I know that's where I shine at. Yeah, I can do all the other stuff, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to. And so if you do stuff, but you really don't want to do it, so why not focus our attention on that? I'm preaching to my own self this morning, y'all. I ain't just talking to y'all. I'm talking to my own self.
Right.
I'm talking to my own self. I'm talking to my own self, and I'm talking to my own and talking to Lavelle, because we got some to talk about. We got to talk about.
Right.
So Amazing House moving services, man. Hell no. No, sir. Nah, bro. I didn't it's probably a lot of money. It's probably a lot of money involved, but that's a lot of work too. And that's not something that ain't a passion or a dream of mine. So that dream won't get birthed at any time by me. Let's lock that tea right quick, man, before we run out of time.
Good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that tea with your girl, Queen Watkins. I hope y'all having a good morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that tea. Have you guys, matter of fact, I got a story for y'all. Since old girl want everybody's opinion, right? I'm going to give y'all this story so y'all can have y'all opinion. So there's two people that are in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. The boyfriend's best friend, which is the guy allegedly, was having a baby. And the boyfriend was asked to be the godfather of the child. Of course, he says yes. They don't have any kids together. Oh, girl didn't have no kids with him. So she was like, okay, cool. We can be the godparents. So when the baby was due to come, the best friend, the guy, he went to jail. Before that, the girlfriend actually went to the baby shower, actually bought the baby gifts. Of course, it's their godchild, right? Met the guy and the girl. Now she met everybody. She came because she's the godfather's girlfriend, right? And the godfather, her boyfriend, is the guy, the father of the child's best friend. Follow me. So the baby ended up coming again. He went to jail. The real father went to jail, right? So that's when Godfather steps in. That's how it's supposed to go, right? Like if something was to happen to the parent, to where the parent is not able to be parents to the children, then that's when the godparents step in. So old boy stepped in and he was going over, helping with the child, blase. Old girl didn't want to go because she just said, it is what it is. I met them. Those are really your people. So, of course, go on over there, do what you need to do. Now, the girlfriend is close to the boyfriend's mom. So the boyfriend mom calls her and say, hey, come over for dinner since he's with the child or whatever, and you at home, come over, come eat. Mind you, their relationship is really close. So boom, she comes over, but the mom didn't know that the girl walked into the house. So when she walked into the house, she walked in on mid-conversation with the mom while she's on the phone with somebody else. And she made the statement and said, if she finds out that that baby is not actually his godchild, that that's actually his biological child, she is going to be so hurt behind it. So old girl was like, hey, I'm right here behind you. Who you talking about? So the mama was like, you know what? I'm not getting into the middle of y'all stuff. You need to talk to my son. So her whole thing was, damn, was I wrong? Because I told him that I didn't want to have no kids. You know, so am I wrong because he has a biological child with somebody else? Maybe because I didn't tell him, because I told him that I didn't want no kids. Girl, how was that the first thing that was on your mind, honey bunches? Why you just didn't say, why he didn't tell me that he had a biological child? Like, why did he have to lie to me about this? Why he couldn't be honest with me? But you point at yourself. So now you want the world to help you out, to figure out, is you going crazy or not? Girl,
damn.
I think honesty was the first thing. He should have been honest with you from the get-go, period. All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men Enhanced Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins. Clock that tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Man, forget. Look, the nigga that went to jail thinking that's his biological child, he get out, he gonna kill old boy.
That's what I was just thinking.
I was like, man,
It's gonna be over. It's gonna be like, what's that song? Chris said, Michelle, it's over.
man, this boy, cause that mean he was born an old new girl.
Mhm.
They both been friends.
Hey,
They
man,
got
okay.
way deeper issues than what she think. They got way deeper issues than what she think. Into who? those issues. I don't know if Roger trying to check Queen or what. He said, Queen, your wig game is on point. Kudos, Queen.
Stupid.
Monica says this the same concept that she was talking about what we was talking about with like your value and stuff. She said this the same concept that should be used in relationships. Plant the seed and focus on the one, water the one, and watch how it grows.
Absolutely.
Yep. Man.
One of the things I came up with, and I don't know if I got it from somebody, but I always say success does not start with an S, it starts with a U. So I start, hashtagging success, and I will capitalize the U, because a lot of people try to be successful and depend on everybody else, but you have to make sure that you're successful for yourself. You will get some help, along the way and all this stuff. But in order to build a successful team, you got to be the first somebody that's successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely. I think, man, I think that was some really good information that Tyler gave. Well, it was a reaffirmation, a confirmation, so to speak, of information that and if we be honest, these are things Tyler Perry didn't really just share nothing with us that we admit hearing. For a long. If you was in school and you took marketing, we used to have to take marketing back in school. If you took marketing, that was one of the things they taught us. Focus on your product or service and, market that product or service, so that's not anything new. But sometimes it takes for people who have kind of been through the struggle to share. We listen to a lot of times. We listen to Tyler Perry. We think Tyler Perry is like the golden wisdom guy or something, but he's just a person. Just like he said, look, I'm human just like y'all. I got the same human blood. I'm human just like y'all. Only difference is I went out there and I tried. It didn't work. I tried. It didn't work. How many people do you know would spend their own money to rent out a theater to put a play on for 5-6 years in a row that bums, but still say, I'm gonna do it again next year? 30 people showed up. I spent 12,000, but 30 people showed up. I ain't even getting my money, nowhere near my money back. But let me do it again next year. I'm gonna save my money, do it again next year. 40 people showed up. Okay. I'm gonna do it again next year. 35 people showed up. I'm gonna do it again next year. The same old 40 people showed up. I'm gonna do it again next year. To finally, 1,000 people showed up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got something here. And it's funny that he said that, because that was around the time, that era, around that 98, 99 time, when we was playing his videos in Redway.
Every time I watch it, I think about it.
On FNTV.
Yes, sir. Yep.
FNTV playing them junks.
We ate a whole lot of lunch off there.
We ate a lot of food, a lot of lunch, did a lot of stuff off Tyler Perry.
But when you think about it, though, bro, and this is just my thought process. I'm just thinking that when you think about that, it's not failure; it's on the job training.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's how we view it. We view it as failed or made it. You know, when it's really, you know, if you're still doing it, like you said, it's just OJT.
Yeah, like I got a picture that I had made from when I first started DJing, and when I kind of like stepped my game up, my setup was okay, and then my setup was better than what it was. And it's a scripture that says, "Do not despise small beginnings," because to the person that's looking on, you never know how they view it, but it's basically built upon your thought process and how you view it. If you view it being small, that's what it's always gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the person on the outside looking in, they thinking like, man, he doing good. I've had opportunities where people said, hey man, I didn't even want to call you because I feel like that you was outside of my league.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't never know how people view you, but you got to view yourself correctly.
I've had people tell me the same thing about the ball. It's like, man, I just seen your bars, man. I just know them Johns. Man, I ain't want to call you, man. I know I ain't want to spend no $5,000-$10,000. I was like, bro, you wouldn't spend $5,000-$10,000. You gotta holler at me and see. It depends, you know. You $10,000. If I give you a $10,000 bar, you won't have the biggest bar I ever built.
Right. But think of all the success stories, man. So many different individuals that we can. I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's so many.
We can go back. We can go back just a little over a year ago. I'm talking about you and I.
Right.
Look at our streaming profile now versus when we started over a year ago.
Yeah, totally different.
Totally different. The sound quality, everything is totally different than back then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even the marketing, being able to market. So a lot of that has changed since over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're reaching way more people. I'm talking about, it's people telling me, man, from Ohio to Texas, California, New Orleans, man, we reaching everywhere, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We reaching everywhere, and we still ain't even scratched the surface yet.
Nope.
So all I'm saying is, we got to quit putting our value, putting our value in a box.
Mm-hmm.
We have to quit placing ourselves in this little old box and say, well, it is what it is. I'm keeping my head above water. I'm making a little change. I can do a little something. When there's so many more possibilities. And if that means I got to get out of Memphis to grow my market, don't be scared. If I got to get out of Memphis to grow my business, to make it, don't be scared to do that. But have a plan. Don't just say, I'm uprooting and going to California tomorrow. No, have a plan.
And you can't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because Especially if you're because when I first started doing what I'm doing, for a long time I was just hustling backwards, if you will.
Yep.
And I wasn't really doing business like business. But when I started, doing things the correct way, I started seeing the fruits of my labor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you cats, man, they say they be in business, but they be basically just, hustling backwards. You know what I'm saying? Be a grand hustle, and then they don't really be in business. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no website. If they got business cards, they don't look right. When you see them out, they don't look business. It's a whole lot of things that go into that. And just to say you in business, but you're not taking care of business is not the same thing.
Man, I was yesterday morning after the show, I went to get some plumbing stuff. A guy was coming over to fix my washer, and I said, well, I got this plumbing issue I had. I said, let me run and get some stuff while he's working on my washer. I'm gonna run and get. So I went to the store, but I had on my 2 men in hat, the shirt, and I walked in and I was talking to the guy. The guy said, man, you decked out. You got your 2 men in hat podcast gear. He said, and then he said, 2 Men in Hat podcast. He said, that's somebody you follow. I said, that's my show. I said, we've been doing this. Oh man, send me the link. I'm gonna check it out. And then the same thing with the washing machine guy. He was like, man, I wake up every morning and listen to podcasts. That's what I do. I wake up every morning 6:30. I grab me a coffee, sit down for about an hour, get myself together, and I listen to a podcast. And he was like, y'all, that's gonna give me something to listen to. So you can't be afraid to talk about your brand, market your brand.
Yep.
You can't be afraid. If you're afraid to do that, afraid to invest, then you probably won't be that successful at it. If you're afraid, you can't be afraid. But don't, I'm not telling you to take your life savings and go out there and say, I'm gonna put all my life savings in the market. I'm saying be methodical about it. Think about it, plan it out.
Right.
When LaVelle started DJing, like Rodney said he started off with his Radio Shack system. You know what I'm saying? DJing with his Radio Shack system. Radio Shack been gone a long time, so I know, his equipment has changed. Your equipment has changed since then. And what I like about you is every time it turn around, you upgrading something. Every time I look up, you like, man, I got this new interface. I'm gonna check this new interface out. And it's the same with me. Like I'm always buying new gadgets, trying to figure out how this can work with what we're doing to make it better, enhance it and make it better. It's the same thing with the church. Since I'm over the media ministry down there now, I'm trying to make sure that we got at least up to date stuff. We might can't get the top of the line, top tier stuff, but at least everybody's complimenting on our services now. They looking at our services.
You gotta start somewhere, and a lot of it be fear. Because I was one of them. I was afraid, bro. I was afraid, for myself, for my family. You know what I'm saying? I can't. If I buy this, it's gonna be too much. If I do this, it's gonna do too much. And it's a saying. Fear is an acronym 2 ways. It says you either can face everything and rise, or face everything and run. Whichever one you want to do. So I just had to make up my mind. I'm gonna face everything and rise. You know what I'm saying? And what's the beautiful scenario is when, especially if you're married, it's when your spouse buy into the program.
Yeah. You know what you're doing, LaVelle? All you're doing is gapping. You're giving attention with purpose and passion.
There you go again.
Bro, all you doing is gapping, bro. You giving attention with purpose and passion, bro. And that's all he said. He said, focus on that one thing. Give that one thing all of your attention with purpose and passion. Bro, I'm telling you, you flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, my guy.
Hey, man, look.
Give attention with purpose and passion. If you give, if whatever your niche is, you give that niche the attention with purpose. See, that's why I can't. And LaVelle, I know you. Sometimes you be wanting this hit me across the head. But when I'm passionate about something, bro, I don't take excuses, bro. When I tell you, we gonna do it. And a lot of people say, well, maybe we can just not do the show today. No, I'm doing the show Monday through Friday, 8 to 9. That's I don't put nothing before that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't put nothing. If somebody said they coming, I'm gonna be on my show, but you can come. You know, the guy showed up yesterday doing the broadcast. You see, I waved him on in and pointed.
Right.
He said, I got somebody coming this morning, so I ain't gonna be on the show. No. I ain't say I got a doctor's appointment this morning. My doctor's appointment, I scheduled my doctor's appointment for 10, 10:30, 11 after my show.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's because I got a purpose and a passion, and I want to give this all of my attention, because how we going to get it to the next phase? If we don't believe in it, Lavelle, who the hell else going to believe in it?
You're right.
If we don't believe in what we're doing, if we say we're out here trying to make people's lives better, right? Then the day we want to help people become better versions of themselves. If we're not trying to actually do that, then we need to quit talking about doing it.
Right.
And I'm gonna use that for example. That's with anything in life.
Right.
If you're not trying to be the best barber you can be, why the hell you doing it?
Mhm.
If you're not trying to be the best DJ you can be, why are you doing it?
Mhm.
If you're not trying to be the best real estate agent, realtor, or whatever, why are you doing it?
Right.
You just taking up space and opportunity that somebody else can be using.
Yep.
Okay. You threw it out there. So I know you're gonna have some statistics on it. You threw it out there. We're gonna run with it. We can run with it.
Mhm.
So anyway, all I'm saying, guys, is we have to quit placing mediocre value on our lives and what our worth is.
Yeah,
Our worth should not be determined by this little box that you know.
right.
We need to remove the boxes, remove the circles, the spheres that we're in. We need to remove all this stuff and say, let's take advantage of the space that we're in.
Yeah, a teacher I used to work with when I worked at Oak Haven for a little while. She said, "Stop letting people lowball your vision." Boy, she said that.
You stop
Right.
lowballing your own vision.
Absolutely. When she said
You
that,
said yesterday, Doc said sometimes we have to put that mirror up and look in.
Mhm.
The
Yep.
problem sometimes is not everything or everybody around you. You
It's
pull
you.
up that mirror. That problem is you. You're holding up your own success. You're holding up your own value. And if you don't place value on yourself, how do you expect that people will place? Like Mr. Jones said. I think that was John. Who that said that? Yeah, Joseph said that he don't be knowing what to charge people, you know, and his business be suffering because he don't want to charge too less and he don't want to charge too more, you know. Yeah. So if you don't place a value, any value, or your value is subpar, mediocre, or whatever on your own life or your own business, your own dreams, how do you expect other people to put any value or consider what you're doing anything of worth?
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. So our goal is to help people become better versions of themselves, and we're gonna do that through talking about it and giving attention with purpose and passion. That's
Yes,
all I
sir.
have today. That's all I got.
Well, I wanted to show this simply because it's just what we're dealing with. This ain't what my website used to look like.
Mm.
This I wish I could have before and after, but I had to pay somebody to do this.
Yeah. And it costs you money, and you got to maintain it. You got to upgrade it and all that.
Yes, sir. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You gotta invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Some of the I never would have thought, man, some of the stuff that I have that I would even have it. You know what I'm saying? But in order to do business adequately, you know, like with your tools and stuff that you use to build your bars and stuff like that, you gotta have the adequate tools to put out the right product. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out there with just no hammer and no hammer and no screwdriver talking about you finna build no build no bar. You gotta have drills, you gotta have your you know what I'm saying, your thing to make sure it's balanced, what you call that thing?
You gotta have sanders, you gotta have miter saws, you gotta have, you know, screwdrivers, nail guns, man, levels. Yeah, I'm talking about, like, yeah, it's so much stuff involved. Like, you can't, like, I could probably build some stuff without that, but it might be in your house rocking. Right. It might be one side up, one side down. You gotta have a good tape measure, you know, because, you know, and you got to be able to cut precision with precision.
But if you're in business and you're running business correctly, your business will pay for those tools. Yeah, and all of the stuff is tax write-offs.
When I was buying those tools, man, Mike said, "Boy, you buy all the tools. I'm gonna use these tools, and them tools ain't got you. I done wore tools out. I had to go buy another one of the same thing because I just wore it out.
Right,
blades." And not on that, you got to think about it. You got to keep fresh blades. I'm always buying blades for the different tools I use, the different blades and all that stuff. You got to keep extra blades, and you got to keep nails and, you know, screws and all these different size screws and link screws and nails and different size nails, and because it depends on what kind of work you're doing, you know. Yeah. So it's a lot involved in it. And so I definitely, man. So when we get off here, if you got time, I want to have a conversation, man.
Okay, no problem. I ain't getting going. Folks already texting me this morning talking about doing something. But anyway, yeah, I'm straight.
All right. Well, let's come on, pray us out then.
Lord God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being able to share and enhance each other in what we're doing and helping other people enhance what you have given them. Continue to bless our efforts and our thoughts to do better than we did on yesterday. Lord God, continue to bless Tony family, Queen family. And Lord God, we ask you to do this in your dollar son Jesus' name. And we said amen.
Amen. Man, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
Man, giving attention with purpose and passion. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir.
It's the 2 Minute Hats Podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats Podcast.